Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for April 8th, 2025. I am Mayor Watt. Oh, this is season 4, episode 98. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmTown.com, and that is a bag. Yeah, production value at an all-time high. Anyway, I run ohmTown.com. That's that site that's right there. And I am throwing this together in the time machine because, well, I didn't prepare the show properly. And I have yet to set it up. So we're going to do this on the fly. So the first, what we're going to talk about today is Nintendo Switch 2. Welcome to your money. Epic Universe, pets are persuasive influencers, rage workouts, a rare insect once thought extinct, nuclear acoustics lab, bracket city word game, Bon Iver hosting basketball, and I typed that out wrong, God. And genetically engineered wolves, and then finally trapdoor spiders in Australia. Yeah, so welcome to ohmTown.com. Today I think is going to be kind of a hot mess because I'm in the time machine and I'm trying to play catch up and get ready for the next show, which is on Wednesday. And this is the time machine, so it's Tuesday, but it's Wednesday for me. Timey-wimey kind of stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. And so, like I said, I'm going to actually build this while we go. So see you on the other side. All right. So when you follow one of the links through ohmTown, you get taken to a little snippet, right? So on the front page, or if you follow it from the show notes. So over on Twitch, you hit !NSN and ohmTown will spit out the articles in the order that we're going to go over them. Over on YouTube, they're already embedded in the chat or in the show description. So that's where the show notes go. But when we do the show, I usually lay it all out like this. And so you see this little snippet. That's what we get to see before the show. Largely, we don't even see that. We see this little snippet right here, the title, just like you see it right here. We don't have a little snippet underneath it, but we could. Maybe in a later build of ohmTown we'll do that. But Nintendo has confirmed a price for the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, and it's going to run you a Lin-Manuel Miranda play, apparently. So $9.99, $10 for a tech demo of the very product that you are buying. They're not rolling it in, I guess, because there's an experience there that they say. The phrase Nintendo themselves have used is that it uncovers lots of insights about the console, explore basic features like the magnetic connectors that keep the Joy-Con 2 controllers firmly attached, and more advanced tech details that you might not have heard about or think about. But they basically say, we finally got a confirmation on that price, $10. So it's not being rolled into the device, which is absurd. You're literally paying for something that's supposed to onboard you. But you click the link, it takes you over to vice.com, where the article is sourced from. Anthony Franklin II is putting the article together over at vice.com. The deck statement says, Nintendo has given us confirmation of the price for the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. And why are we even doing this? Last time something was introduced, it turned into a meme, a little robot thing. I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, so it says... no one should have to pay for a tech demo, especially not $10, and definitely not when you are in all likelihood going to be increasing the cost of the Switch 2. And let's not forget the price of the games themselves, somewhere around $80 to $100. And in all fairness to Nintendo, they say games were going to go up. This was an inevitability. No, it doesn't have to like that. I mean, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to argue about it because different people have different perspectives and some people are enablers. Anyway, rumors have been swirling about Grand Theft Auto 6 being $100 for a while now. Well, kiss my ass. I'm not paying $100 for a game. Unless it's like I'm getting early access, like alpha access. I don't mind paying for that kind of stuff. But you normally get perks on top of that. Anyway, they say in this editor's note, I'm capitalism pilled so sadly. I don't think the Nintendo Switch welcome tour being $10 is an egregious crime. Now, those $80 games, though, I think both are. $80 games is an egregious crime, and paying $10 for a tech demo of the very product that you are buying, it should be an onboarding buy-in. You're literally buying the device. You should be able to play this to learn about the console that you're buying. Oh, and yeah, Astrobot was that type of thing. So it's absurd. And then now Astrobot basically got Game of the Year. So I think this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I am not a Nintendo fan. I would rather go buy a latte than give Nintendo $10. That said, let's move on to our next article. It's Epic Universe is what I've given the title of this. So you see the little flash, and then it goes, it's over in Non Sequitur News over at ohmTown.com. It says that they got an early look at Epic Universe, Universal's new multi-billion-dollar Florida theme park. Disney is about to get a run for its money, according to this, but I really doubt it. You want Epic Universe, the massive new Universal Orlando Resort theme park that opens in May. The 5 worlds, quote-unquote, of the park are immersive and beautiful, with some excellent rides and shows, and it may very well lure some Central Florida tourists away from Disney, at least for a day or two, which doesn't mean jack shit. People live inside Disney parks. Some literally, there are houses that are inside a Disney theme park or theme park-esque setting right near the park. I wanted to move in there, as a matter of fact, but I don't want to live in Florida. Anyway, theme park fans, including the author of this article, have been eagerly awaiting the new opening of Universal Orlando Resort Park Epic Universe since it was first announced in 2019 and then it got hit by the pandemic. So you click the link, you get taken over to Business Insider. Carol and Matassa put the article together, and they have this Epic Universe arch. It says, beyond this gate, find gardens, green, and epic worlds to fill your dreams. Oh, how very Harry Potter of you. It's pretty neat nonetheless. Anyway, the author writes, they were able to tour all 5 of the quote-unquote worlds that comprise the massive park: Celestial Park, Dark Universe, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of... Oh, maybe that's why it says that. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic is number 4, and number 5 is Super Nintendo World, which already exists in Universal's Hollywood and Japan parks, though the 3 versions differ slightly. So the sprawling park, which reportedly cost around $7 billion to build, is an incredible feat of engineering and design. Universal has not publicly confirmed the cost of the expansion, and a representative declined to comment when reached by Business Insider via email. So there's a lot more over here at this article. There, you got some really cool pictures, like all Business Insider articles do, but I won't go through all of it. They just say that the attention to detail in the creations of these creatures is unbelievable. For instance, as Toothless lands on the stage, you can actually see his feet flex in a lifelike way, and that they were fully prepared to award the Isle of Berk as the most immersive until they stepped into Super Nintendo World, which brought them straight into Nintendo. Visitors enter through Princess Peach's castle, and you step through the portal. You literally feel like you're in a video game. So it's pretty cool. It'll be fun to go and check out, I'm sure. It's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing for me. I'm not much of a theme parker, but I might take citizens of ohmTown to go and check it out from time to time. Who knows? All right, let's keep on going, though. There's a whole lot more, but I only have 30 minutes. I got to get through this. It used to be an hour, but the time machine is running fast, so we got to keep going. The next article is over in, well, let's go check it out. It's over in Mobile. Pets make more persuasive social media influencers than people, study says. And whenever I type in influencers, into any document, it flags it as red as if it's not a word, but apparently it is a word. Our four-legged friends are increasingly popular on social media, with some becoming influencers with millions of followers, and it's because people would rather look at something cute and cuddly than a human, unless they are cute and cuddly. So let's click on the link, and the article is over at phys.org. Researchers over at University of Strathclyde in Glasgow put the article together. I don't know what the hell they're doing here. Oh, they're giving them medicine while their nose is stuck in food, and it says calm on the medicine dropper bottle. That's weird. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, you got to give your pets medicine sometimes. So the new study, however, suggests that pet influencers or petfluencers may have a surprising edge over the human counterparts when it comes to trustworthiness, because humans are just innately not trustworthy to some people. Researchers studied why pet influencers are successful by comparing them to human endorsers in fictional advertisements for products like wine and peanut butter. And when the advertisements were tested with an audience, the results were clear. The pet influencer outperformed the human influencer in terms of consumer response, and their effectiveness was even higher when the message matched a consumer's focus on immediate pleasure and satisfaction, because we all need a little dropper of calm. I'm gonna zoom in on this. See, look, honest pause, calm, extra. Oh, it's CBD, 1,000 milligrams of CBD. Jeez. All right. Yeah, that'll calm you. So advertising agencies are turning to animal influencers to promote brands, and in the UK alone, owners spend an estimated £8 billion a year on their pet, and compared to the US dollar of late, who knows what that's actually going to be at when you do the transfer. Anyway, they can rival the earning potential of their human counterparts. Lead researcher Dr. Laura Lavertu, a lecturer in marketing at the University of Strathclyde, whose research focuses on the impact of digital technologies, including social media and virtual reality, on consumer brand interactions, said petfluencers offer distinct advantages compared to human SMIs. So social media influencers is SMI. Anyway, pretty interesting. We're going to keep on going, though. There's always more over at the articles, so go and check it all out. We're going to move on to the next article, and that one is over in Mobile as well. Rage workouts can regulate your emotions, and here's how to do it. It's a stressful time to be alive. You're juggling multiple jobs. I hope not. Nobody should have to juggle multiple jobs. It's ridiculous. Free time doesn't feel free, and even relaxing can feel like something of a check off a list and add in the daily fire hose of awful news, and yeah, people are angry. That anger, it's valid, and it's not something that you have to suppress. In fact, one of the best things that you can do is move. So different types of movement can support working through anger in different ways. So there's rage rooms and stuff like that, and you can scream into a pillow. Anyway, although there is a whole cohort of people out there nowadays who are of the mind that you should eschew your feelings. You should be devoid of empathy and sympathy and compassion, and basically be a sociopath. And my research has basically shown that it seems like it's a growing trend and a survival trait. And unfortunately, I think that that's actually true and happening, not just the research that I've found, but it's actually being manifest by society. Okay, let's get off of that, though. So that physical intensity helps you burn through the adrenaline and cortisol released when you're mad, giving your emotions somewhere to go instead of building up inside you. So anger and rage are actually really healthy emotions to experience, and you shouldn't suppress them. Don't be Vulcan. By using the chemicals your body produces when you're angry, you can prevent that energy from lingering and turning into irritability or burnout. The idea isn't just about smashing things, though. That might help. It's about using movement to literally move emotion through your body. Rage workouts can include anything that feels cathartic: sprinting, slamming a medicine ball, or cycling while blasting metal at full volume. That's dangerous because You may not realize that you're harming your ears because you're working out and the adrenaline is overpowering the damage that your ears might be feeling from the loud music. So be careful of that. It doesn't need to be structured or pretty. It just needs to feel real. So yeah, I used to actually use a sledgehammer and smash wood, like just keep on hammering the instead of using an axe, I was using a sledgehammer because it would actually just smash and splinter and not just carve through. I would have to spend a considerable amount of energy doing it. Haven't done that in many years. Maybe now is the time when I should pick that up. So even gentler forms of movement can help. A study in the Journal of Affective Disorders found that walking 10 or to 60 minutes significantly reduced depression, anger, and hostility in young adults. So what about old adults? So if you're up for a full-on rage session, a brisk walk might do the trick. So I bought pardon, I'm getting used to my new mic. I bought a weight vest for walking to add 35 pounds worth of weight so that when I go for a walk, I'm burning more calories just carrying my little corpse around. Not little, but anyway. So anger doesn't need to be dangerous. It doesn't need to control you. It can be a signal, a release. It's actually a survival instinct, anger. So rage doesn't have to destroy, it can rebuild, and sometimes it starts with a really sweaty workout or just a brisk walk. You don't have to go crazy, but start somewhere and burn off that energy. Ashley Fike over at Vice.com put the article together. I think I missed it in my excitement to actually talk about it. All right, let's keep on going. We're halfway through right now. This next article is over on the Marble Channel. Prague Zoo joins the effort to ensure the survival of a rare insect once considered extinct. The Prague Zoo has joined an international effort to ensure the survival of a rare insect that has been considered extinct for more than 80 years. Yeah, we don't know what we don't know, so it may not have actually been extinct. So when you click the link, you get taken over to phys.org. And there is the insect. An expert keeper displays a critically endangered Lord Howe Island stick insect. I love stick insects, but that one looks less like a stick than I would imagine a stick insect looks like. I've seen others, but Carol Janicek over at, I guess it's Janicek, over at phys.org put the article together. The insect, known as Lord Howe Island phasmid, is native to a remote archipelago of the Tasman Sea off Australia. So right now they're on display that rare chance that only London and San Diego also offer. It's a 15 centimeter or 5.9 inch long flightless insect stick bug, the largest species thereof. And the uninhabited archipelago was discovered in 1778. Rats that arrived with ships stranded offshore in 1918 appeared to wipe the insect's population out. Mountain climbers found signs of the insects in the 1960s on a rocky island 23 kilometers offshore from Lord Howe. In 2001, it confirmed that specimens were surviving there. 2 pairs were taken to Australia for breeding, a step considered necessary for the critically endangered species. I think they should go back to the island and wipe out the rats so that you can transplant these back into their native habitat and bring them back. You know, I mean, it only makes sense. So they're going to be returning the insect to its natural environment on Lord Howe Island after rats were eradicated there in 2019. So hell, look, time machine actually works. All right, let's keep going. This next article is over in Non Sequitur News. How an unused nuclear power plant became home to a world-class acoustics lab. It says not your average office park. Click that link, you get taken over to The Verge. Allison Johnson put the article together. These scientists have taken extreme measures to get away from noise. This is actually a cooling tower. It's not a nuclear power plant in and of itself, but it's a cooling tower. So they visited Satsop on a drizzly day in March to meet Ron Sorrow, owner and operator of NWAA Where does it say what it is? I don't know. Anyway, sound dampening, construction materials, noisy washing machines, even the crew cabin of an airplane. These are all things that have passed through the doors of his lab. When companies need to verify how much sound their products make or how well they dampen sound, they call Ron. They meet him in the parking lot just outside of his office and follow him past signs that states in no uncertain terms that they're entering the premises at their own risk. Make their way to the finished but never used auxiliary building that would have housed WNP3's nuclear reactor. So, Washington Public Power Supply System, or WHOOPS, says a chosen name with an acronym that so easily translates to whoops. But I don't know if you should do that for a power company, particularly a nuclear power company. Well, they ran over budget, and the accident at 3 Mile Island in 1979 put a damper on everyone's enthusiasm for nuclear energy. By 1982, both projects were mothballed. Even the WNP3 was nearly complete. So, whoops. Tried to find a buyer in the 90s, but nobody was in the market for a defunct nuclear power plant. The buildings and land wound up in the hands of Port of Grays Harbor, which now maintains it as a SATSOP business park. It has hosted film productions, and Overstock.com call center, now closed, and at one point, thousands of recalled VW vehicles sold back to dealers following an emissions cheating scandal. Wow. So, stepping through the threshold of the auxiliary reactor building, s4e points out that the exterior walls, 5 feet thick, made of solid concrete and sturdy rebar, follow him to a curved path marking yellow lines around the structure that would have housed the reactor. Its round cave-like opening is dark and covered in a padlocked fence. Loud rustling by the entrance startles them, and they see a large bird tuck itself into a nook above the door. Whatever all this means. So, there's actually what looks like a crane inside this facility used to lift speakers into place on the free field testing rig. Okay. Acoustics testing, as best as the author can tell, is 2/3 science, 1/3 witchcraft. You have to be better than the thing you're testing, s4e explains in a general scientific principle. In acoustics, that means creating a controlled space to measure sound without interference from background noise. SATSOP's remote location means that there's not much in the way of outside noise to deal with, and the thick concrete walls take care of the rest. So there's a lot more in this article. I won't go through it all, but they basically test acoustics in this thing. The last thing that I'll say is the free field rig is a little Lovecraftian. It's a tall structure with an arm that curves forward over a pedestal. The arm is covered with a kind of white insulation, and it's punctuated with 19 microphones pointing inward that look like teeth, or maybe daggers, they say. When it's rigged up for testing, s4e will put a speaker on the pedestal and play sound from it while it rotates, and the resulting data gives a 3-dimensional picture of the speaker's performance. So yeah, now from nuclear power plant, now a world-class acoustics lab. All right, let's keep going. Got a few more articles to go, and we'll be able to get out of the time machine. This next article is over in Technology Today. Bracket City could be your latest word game obsession. Millions got into Wordle over the past few years. Many clones of the game. Other developers went into slightly different direction and found success. New York Times did with Excellent Connections. Another game that's been doing the rounds for a couple of months has a new home as The Atlantic becomes the latest publisher to get into the daily puzzle trend. While starting Tuesday, you can play Bracket City on the magazine's website. Again, you click the link, you get taken over to the source. This is over at Engadget. Chris Holt put the article together. The Atlantic is the new home for a puzzle game called Bracket City. Starting Tuesday, the aim of Bracket City is to solve a nested series of clues to reveal a fact about a given day in history, and you have to solve the clues in order, but if you figure out an answer at a higher level, you can use that to work out your way backwards and help you get to the solution. There's a tutorial to help you get started. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like it's story-driven. Tuesday's fact of the day is 10 words long, while Monday's was only 6 words, but revealing each meant solving 17 clues first. The clues include cryptic hints, fill in the blank idioms, and general knowledge teasers. Clicking on a hint will reveal the first letter of the answer. There's also a hard mode in which you don't have to press enter to submit a guess, but every keystroke counts. That actually looks like it might be fun. It's almost as if it's like a Mad Lib, but you're trying to answer questions. So and then inside it's the inside brackets, second rock from and then inside brackets is a bunch of underlines, and then inside that is bracket that says call unintentionally with your in parentheses, but in quotes, and then a closed bracket. So what is that like? Well, I guess dial, right? So second rock from and then there's something dial. And then there's more. It's basically stacks within stacks of brackets and parentheses and quotes and underlines, and you're trying to figure out all of the biggers is 13, so 2 dozen. So I'd have to work through all of this to put it all together, but it's interesting. Precarious ice to be on, thin, right? Nothing is the thing. So N and then thin. So you merge it together, no thin, and there's a G on the other side of the bracket. So it's kind of interesting. You'll have to see this if you're listening to this via the podcast. It's going to sound extra cryptic. All right, let's keep on going. This next article is about Bon Iver. I chose this only because I was really curious about what the heck? Bon Iver hosting basketball tournament in Los Angeles this weekend. Justin Vernon and friends will face off on the court in celebration of the release of Sable Fable. When you click the link, it takes you over to Pitchfork. Justin Vernon and friends. Jasmine Rowe put the article together. It's over at pitchfork.com. And it says here, proceeds from the on-site raffle will benefit to $1 billion, Vernon's gender equity and anti-domestic violence campaign. And if you can't make it to LA, a series of listening parties dubbed Fable Spaces with inverted caps will also take place in various cities. Head to Bon Iver's website to find one near you. Interesting. The free events attractions will run from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Terasaki Budokan Sports Facility, with the tournament pitting Justin Vernon and friends against one another. Pardon me 1 second. Sorry about that. All right, let's keep going. We've got 2 more articles. This next one is genetically engineered wolves. People have been talking about this today and yesterday because supposedly somebody created dire wolves. Scientists genetically engineer wolves with white hair and muscular jaws like the extinct dire wolf, but that is not true. I mean, it's wolves, but they have these traits of dire wolves, and people have been calling them dire wolves, but they're genetically distinct from that. 3 genetically engineered wolves may resemble extinct dire wolves are trotting, sleeping, and howling in an undisclosed secure location in the United States, according to the company that aims to bring back lost species. You click the link, you get taken over to phys.org. Christina Larson put the article together. And it says here, the wolf pups, which range in age from 3 to 6 months old, have long white hair, muscular jaws, and already weigh in at around 80 pounds, on track to reach 140 pounds at maturity, researchers at Colossal Biosciences reported Monday. Dire wolves, which went extinct more than 10,000 years... it says which went extinct more than 10,000 years old. No, 10,000 years ago, are much larger than gray wolves, their closest living relatives today. Independent scientists said that this latest effort doesn't mean dire wolves are coming back to North American grasslands anytime soon. All you can do now is make something look superficially like something else, not fully revive extinct species, said Vincent Lynch, a biology a biologist at the University of Buffalo who was not involved in the research. Colossal scientists learned about specific traits that the dire wolves possess by examining ancient DNA from fossils, which I'm not sure how that even takes place. The researchers studied a 13,000-year-old dire wolf tooth unearthed in Ohio and a 72,000-year-old skull fragment found in Idaho, both part of the Natural History Museum collections. And then the scientists took blood cells from a living gray wolf and used CRISPR to genetically modify them in 20 different sites, said Colossal's chief scientist Beth Shapiro. So, Jurassic Park inbound. And I'm sure we too, current real humans, not sci-fi written humans, have the hubris to think that they can bring back and control nature. Oh, how silly we are. So this technology may have broader applications for conservation of other species, probably ourselves, in time, because it's less invasive than other techniques to clone animals, said Christopher Preston, a wildlife expert at the University of Montana, who also was not involved in this research. Anyway, Colossal CEO Ben Lamb said that the team met with officials from the U.S. Interior Department in late March about the project and probably just told them, kiss my butt. We're doing it anyway. Anyway, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum praised the work on Twitter on Monday as a thrilling new era of scientific wonder, even as outside scientists said that there are limitations to restoring the past. Yeah, there's a lot of yes people. All right, this next article is over in Technology Today. Scientists discover 2 bizarre new species of trapdoor spiders in Australia. Researchers discovered 2 new species of trapdoor spiders in northern Australia with uniquely engineered burrows, enhancing understanding of biodiversity in the region. A team of scientists led by the University of Western Australia has identified 2 new species of trapdoor spider. So let's click the link and it'll take us over to SciTech Daily. University of Western Australia put the article together, and there is no deck statement. It just says that they've found these new species, Quocon flectilis and Quocon nemoralis, were detailed in a recent publication in the Australian Journal of Taxonomy. Their discovery contributes significantly to the understanding of Australia's diverse and unique spider fauna. That's so creepy. Can't imagine walking up to that and some big ass spider comes out and noms on your foot. Research was led by Dr. Jeremy Wilson, a postdoctoral fellow at UWA's School of Biological Sciences and a research associate at the Western Australia Museum. My goodness. The spiders were discovered during a 2022 Bush Blitz expedition to the remote northern Kimberley, supported by the Australian government. So they have unique microhabitats, unlike most related species that build simple open trenches or entrances to their burrows. Spiders of the Quocon genus create elaborate burrow entrances with unique features, and we're exploring along a small creek when we noticed distinctive circular burrows in the sandy banks. The burrows constructed by the Quocon nemoralis had a little collapsible silicon collar around the entrance, which had grains of sand embedded in it and were unlike anything that we'd seen before. Clever engineering that serves multiple functions. When disturbed, the collar around the burrow entrance collapses and seals the entrance, while the sand blends perfectly with the surrounding landscape, making it virtually invisible to predators. One question we're particularly interested in is why build these unusual modified entrances and whether they may be adaptations to specific hunting strategies or for defending against predators such as scorpions, centipedes, and wasps, which are known to hunt the spiders. Pretty interesting stuff. It's a national initiative over in Taxonomy Australia under the Australian Academy of Science that aims to document Australia's biodiversity within a generation. So good luck, good luck, good luck. Look at that little tarantula there. That's a trapdoor spider, not a tarantula. But anyway, that is it. So we are going to close the door on our trapdoor, and that's going to bring us back to the front page of ohmTown.com, where you should go and become a citizen. Oh, that's it. I'm just going to end it like that. I'm Mirwad. I run ohmTown.com, and along with the Sentient AI, we normally talk about 10 articles each day. Sentient AI isn't available as the Time Machine episode, but we should be back, and I'm hoping we'll be back for the Wednesday episode, but mayoral duties may pull me away. Anyway, didn't want to miss too much of a day. Didn't want to wait too long. I may be able to do today or Wednesday's show on time. Got to get out of the time machine and find out, though. So hopefully you're going to follow us here on Twitch and over on YouTube. Download the podcast, hang out on the Discord, visit the Patreon. You can follow us there, but there isn't any extra stuff yet. We've just kind of been doing the show. But I'm hoping that I'll start doing Patreon-bound stuff for Summer of Stream, game reviews, and movies, and stuff like that, watch parties. But we'll see. We'll go from there. Anyway, I tend to be a one-person shop, so we'll see what goes on. Anyway, stick around. Hope to see you here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.